let's just go ahead and call in the white phosphorus. So it's honestly a very cool idea for a kill streak, but the actual use of it is just not it, man. There's no point ever where the white phosphorus does that, and it just makes your entire screen smoky and you just can't see anything. That's the one thing people hate about it is this.
I feel really blessed right now, guys, because honestly, I think this is a dream. Yeah, guys, this thing is literally the most lethal attack helicopter on planet Earth. This is literally the inside of a Black Hawk, guys. I mean, it doesn't get any more like real life Call of Duty than this, man. I've been playing Call of Duty since I was like 11 years old.
Yo, I'm working on a poll and like an interview thing for a school project. Can I like ask you some things?
Can you wait like 5 minutes for me to get out of this ranking?
Yeah, you want to call me then?
Yeah, I'll just call you back.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya. Try in 5 minutes. What is like a kill streak just for like people who like don't know, or like just for like non-gamers or something, like how that ability works?
I would describe it as the player being rewarded with an additional ability if they're able to stay alive.
Right.
And get kills. I guess that's how it's like a reward. Actually, you would consider it a grind for like the really, really high ones, because sometimes it's hard to get those ones because they're hard to get. So you could grind for those ones.
And there's also a lot of focus on Israel's northern border with Lebanon, with the U.S. government expressing new concern today. What can you tell us about that?
It starts, I think, with a Washington Post story about US-supplied phosphorus weapons being used by Israel in Lebanon. And that story tracks one attack. And what we find is that now the US is asking questions, and that spokesperson John Kirby has said there are concerns and they want Israel to explain. What we've heard from the Israeli media is that Israel says white phosphorus can be used in certain circumstances, including to provide smokescreen for soldiers and so forth, and that they used it illegally. But that is a concern now being tracked by Washington, asking questions from Israel about that Washington Post exclusive.
Iris Mackler in Jerusalem.
It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region.
Watcher 1 to Bravo 07. You in position?
Nearly there. Visual General Caproni.
Copy.
Send it.
All stations, Shadow 1. Missile is ready for immediate delivery. Coordinates in. Target designated. 2, 1. Start out. Missile in blue.
This program was made possible by contributions to the Sonoma State Star from viewers like you. Thank you.
There's a lot of kill streaks that are things that I will remember forever that I did not know of in real life, like an AC-130 helicopter, or a sentry gun, or like, you know, any of those things. Like, I mean, even a care package, like I didn't really know what those were, other than like when you're like a Girl Scout or Boy Scout. UAVs, like, yeah, like people who play those games are going to learn vocabulary that they'd never be familiar with unless they were probably in the army. When you look at airstriking in a video game, it's like, yeah, I'm just looking at little tiny white silhouettes just disappearing on my screen. I didn't know when I was younger that that's exactly what it looks like when you're actually doing airstrikes in real life. And it's able to dehumanize the people on the ground so that it's not so hard to push that button for the people in our military. They're just ants on the screen. Like, I definitely think that there's a strong impact there. For students, like, I don't want them to feel like bad people if they are using, like, you know, if they're playing a violent video game and they do violent things. But I hope that they come to understand that it can desensitize them to the real thing. I didn't turn out to be a criminal or anything. I know we're not making that argument here, but it does desensitize you a lot. And it's the same thing as scrolling on social media and seeing all this violence. It's like you see it so much that you don't really feel anything.
This is exactly where the problem starts. This is a people who is discriminated, is fighting for his rights. This is the story. If you will say it's a civil war, then your questions will be justified. If you will say it's a conflict, then of course it's a surprise to know what's happening.
Why won't your organization engage in peace talks with the Israelis?
You don't mean exactly peace talks, you mean capitulation, surrendering.
Why not just talk?
Talk to whom?
Talk to the Israeli leaders.
That's kind of conversation between the sword and the neck, you mean?
Well, if there were no swords and no guns in the room, you could still talk.
No, I had never seen any talk between a colonialist case and a national liberation movement.
But despite this, why not talk?
Talk about what?
Talk about the possibility of not fighting.
Not fighting for what?
Not fighting at all, no matter what for.
Yeah, people usually fight for something and they stop fighting for something. So you can't tell me even why should we speak about what?
Well, stop fighting.
For what? Or talk about stop fighting, why?
Talk to stop fighting, to stop the death and the misery, the destruction, the pain.
The misery and the destruction and the pain and the death of whom?
Of Palestinians, of Israelis, of Arabs.
Of the Palestinian people who are uprooted, thrown in the camps, living in starvation, killed for 20 years, and forbidden to use even the name Palestinians.
They're better that way than dead, though.
Maybe to you.
The guys here, like, what's your favorite part about this helicopter? They said this gun. I don't know how many people get to go inside of these things, but I feel really blessed right now, guys, because honestly, I think this is a dream. Yeah, guys, this thing is literally the most lethal attack helicopter on planet Earth. This is literally the inside of a Black Hawk, guys. I mean, it doesn't get any more like real life Call of Duty than this, man.